Hello my YouTube friends! Personally, I watch a lot of reaction and review content when I'm not making my YouTube videos. It seems like a pretty popular type of video these days. The thing is, anyone can easily set up and record one of these videos with pretty much no editing in just a few minutes in OBS. I'm going to show you today step by step so you know what. Let's get to it! Now I'm going to use a couple of free plugins in OBS today that are completely unnecessary. I do it to show you some easy ways to improve the look in just a couple seconds. You don't need any of them to do this, but if you wanted to download them, there are links in the description down below and they're totally free. On to the OBS. So to start off with, I've got two scenes in here that are real quick and easy to set up. One is a chat and one is a reaction scene. We're going to start in the chat scene. This would be, how you would start off your live stream so that you could talk to your audience and tell them what you're going to be kind of looking at today. We're going to go and open this up. We'll just call it cam. Click OK. Then all we need to do is select our camera right here. And we're going to scroll down to the bottom. We're going to use a custom audio device and make sure that we select the audio device that we're going to be using. In this case, it's Camlink Audio Pro 1. Got it there. We want to make sure we adjust our volume to where it's satisfactory and we're not peaking, and we're all set. Sorry the microphone is in here, but I want to make sure that in this particular case, since I'm not talking very loud, you guys can hear me. So let's go ahead and move on to the second piece. And the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and just bring in my camera. Now in this case, I'm going to bring it in as a source clone. It's a plugin that you can get in OBS's plugin thing. And the reason why I'm going to use it will become clear in just a second. We're going to go with source. We're going to go with our cam. And there we go. We want the audio to come in. And that's pretty much it. We're just going to click OK. And the reason why I'm doing that is so that we can mess around with how we want this to look in a minute. The next thing we've got to do is go ahead and bring in the media that we want to talk about. Now this can be all sorts of different kinds of media. From videos that you have downloaded on your computer to videos that you're going to watch in a browser or something like that, to images that you find on Twitter or whatever. So let me show you how you set this up, the couple of different ways that you can do it. So let's say we were going to review a video that we physically downloaded on the computer. The first thing we would do is click the plus and we would go to media source, and you just call this whatever it's supposed to be, whatever video you're trying to review. And we're going to go ahead and browse the local files to find this specific video. In this case, I'm just going to put a video game video up here and click open. And we don't need to loop it or anything. You see it comes up. All we would need to do is move this down. And now we have our camera in front and our video in back. And we can organize this any way we want and add background colors and all that stuff if we like. There are so many different ways that we can set this up. But this is the basics of doing this. And you can see when we load in a video, we automatically have our media source audio in here. We can pause it, fast forward it, or whatever, right in here. So it makes it really easy to do a reaction on this, and the audio is already there. However, if we wanted to use sources for video from YouTube or wherever, well, it's a little bit more complicated. But the first thing I want to show you is the reason why I used the source clone to create this. Because that means I can use other plugins on this and it won't affect our screen right here. So I can go in here and I can right click on our source clone. I can go to filters and I can remove my background. There are a lot of different ways to remove your background. In this case, I'm going to use the NVIDIA background removal. Click OK, and bada bing. With 2 steps, my background is removed. I can put myself down here in the corner, and then I can pull this video up like that, and I'm very non-intrusive, and I can talk about whatever's going on over here, and there we go. But you can also see that this doesn't affect this camera right here. If we just added this camera right here into this scene right here without using source clone, then when we remove the background, we're going to have a remove background here as well. So just keep that in mind. That's why I used the source clone. So let's say we didn't want to use a media source that we downloaded on our computer. We'll go ahead and remove that. And instead we wanted to use a source from a video or something like that that's on YouTube. Well, and there's a couple of different ways to do it, but I'll show you the way that I would do it. We're going to click the plus and we're going to go to a display capture. Now, in this case, I have multiple displays. You may not, but this is the easiest way to do it. Display capture, then you capture the display that you want to have your video shown on, and there we go. And then I can stretch this up, and if I was going to be playing this video, I would put it below like that, and then I can just go over on that monitor and play the video. I can also expand it so it looks like this, and I can play the video over here and all that kind of stuff. So it makes it easy, but you notice we don't have any audio here, and so we're going to go ahead and add that audio. We're going to click the plus, and we can do this in a couple of different ways, but if we were going to use a display capture, the easiest way to make sure we capture all the audio that might come in is to do an audio output capture. And then we're going to just drop this down and select how we're going to be listening to the video. Now, you can't listen to the video and react to it if it's coming out of your speakers, because that's going to feed back into your microphone and cause horrible audio. So you're going to have to be listening to the video through headphones. So we're going to select those headphones as our audio output capture and click OK. And so now when we play this, and obviously if we wanted to hear it, we would have to have our headphones on like that, you know. So when we click play over here, you could see that we do have audio right there. So that's how you would add the audio, but there are other ways to do it. So first, let me show you the different ways to capture the audio. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. And if you're only going to be using audio from YouTube or, you know, something like that, the easiest way to do it is to click the plus and go to Application Audio Capture, click OK, and then drop this down and select the scene that you want to capture. In this case, it's that Chrome window. And anything that I put up in that Chrome window, it's going to capture that audio. So that's going to work just fine, and you'll see when I click play, we're getting the audio right here. We can adjust the volume, all that stuff. So now we've added audio for anything that we decide we want to put in this Chrome window. So if we have 20 tabs opened in this Chrome window, it doesn't matter. Whichever tab we select and video we play, it's going to get that audio. The last thing I want to talk about is how you would capture it if you don't have multiple displays. So let's go ahead and remove this. And I think the second best way to capture something like this is to click the plus and go to Window Capture. And then what we're going to do is the same thing we did with the audio. We're going to drop it down and we're going to select the window that we want to capture. And if you don't see the window that you want to capture, you want to go ahead and just cancel this, remove your window capture, go play around in that window, make sure it is a totally active window, all that kind of stuff. Then come back in here, go to Window Capture, and drop this down, and you should physically see the window that you've been playing around with. It's going to be active. So you can select that and click OK, and you just stretch it to whatever size you want or whatever. So in this case, the way that the window is shaped directly affects how it's going to look over here. It's another reason why I like to do the display capture. So I've got to, you know, kind of stretch this out to put it in the size, you know, that makes sense for our screen. And when we stretch it all the way out, what I'm going to do is kind of move it in a little bit like that, and there we go. So now we've got the entire window on here. So when I come up here and I stretch it out, it's going to cover the whole screen, but you can see once again it kind of messes it up, so we've got to adjust it right there. And there we go. So you got to play around with it if you're going to use window capture, but as you can see, using the application audio capture, we're still going to get the same effect. We're going to get that audio. It's going to be exactly what we're looking for. So that is how you can do it, no matter what type of system you're using, whether it's one monitor, two monitors, anything like that. The big catches that you're going to find is you have to wear headphones. And you can see when I added window capture, we don't have my camera. That's because we need to move this down. There we go. So the big thing that gets people every single time on something like this is wearing headphones. You cannot play the video audio through your speakers and expect to get good audio, you must play it through your headphones so you can hear it, and then comment through your microphone so that all of those are separate. Now, the other thing that you want to probably do when you're setting something like this up is go ahead and set up some sort of a scene transition. In this case, I have a stinger already set up, and we can go into this stinger and look at the properties, but it's pretty simple. I just have a transition point at frame 30, and you can test these just by previewing it and making sure that the A turns to B or whatever when the screen is totally blocked off. That's the only thing you got to do. So now we can start a video or a live stream right here, and we can easily transition right into the point where we're talking about whatever it is we're going to be making comments on. That is the easy, simple setup to do this. Now, you might have questions about how you set up your audio recording and all of that sort of stuff. And there are hundreds of videos out there on how you would set up a recording to do this sort of thing. I just wanted to show you how to physically set up your scenes and your audio so that it's perfect every single time. If you want to learn or you don't know how to record with OBS or live stream, well, there are thousands, literally thousands of videos out there that can teach you how to do that. I have plenty of them on this channel right here if you want to check those out. Now, I work really hard to try to create content I think you're going to enjoy. And sometimes I hit and sometimes I miss, and it's really hard to know for sure. And that's where you can really help me out. If you're enjoying this video, do me a favor and leave it a thumbs up. And if it's not your cup of tea, don't hesitate to leave a thumbs down. If everyone watching this video right now leaves a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I'm definitely gonna know whether this is the kind of content that you want to see so I can make more, or maybe it's not. So thumbs up, thumbs down right now. Thank you very much. Let's get back to the video. Now, I told you it was really easy to set this up. If you want to learn more about recording in OBS, you can check this video out right here. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.